What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all, Happy podcast. I'm your coach and host, Josh, here with.
His co-host and co-coach KG, and I'm in the house.
And it's fall. We had some signs here. We put them away, but it's cozy season. It's football, soups, pumpkin spice latte, pushing into Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's getting a little darker. And it's really easy to get into a slump at this time, to maybe not get to the gym, eat a little too much food, maybe break some habits. Perhaps you had a tougher summer. So if this is you and you're struggling to get in that slump, or maybe you got shook up getting back to work or whatever it may be, we're going to actually take you step by step exactly what we would do to break free of a slump and actually have a proven strategy that's guaranteed to not only get you out of it, but get you back in a great cadence of getting results and momentum towards your goals.
Yeah, and honestly, like I just see a lot of times there's different phases within our life, whether it's like you've had a kid, whether you are coming back from an injury, like every one of these tips have been proven to work. And that's why I really believe no matter what you've gone through, you can go back to this episode consistently and every tip will be 100% applicable to you and your life. And number one is just simply getting started, but starting small and building up. So a lot of times when people think of getting out of that slump, finally getting into the gym, okay, I've got to eat healthier, they overwhelm themselves with thinking they have to do it all at once. And I truly believe the best way to create habits is just to start small. When it comes down to walking, you're not going to take a million steps. You're going to put one foot in front of another, sorry, and you're going to take one step at a time. And that's how you're going to get to that next destination. So some of the simple things you can do off the very start to just leave you feeling good and start to build some momentum would be to change your environment, to declutter, to get out of the house and to switch things up. So a lot of times, like people, let's say you want to be productive, and if you are working at your house and you're doing a bunch of stuff, like just try something different. Go to a local coffee shop. If the gym that you used to go to just wasn't motivating you, maybe get a day pass at a local place. You can always switch things up to build the momentum. And from there, you just got to get started. The famous quote that Josh shared a couple weeks ago on the podcast was just do it. So by simply put saying, hey, I'm going to go for 5 minutes today. I'm just going to sign up. I'm going to get started. It's not going to be perfect. That alone will put you in such a good position and have you ready for the next final steps.
Yeah, I find a lot of people do go about this the wrong way, where you'll sit and set goals and talk about all the things you're going to do, but not do it or plan to do it the following week, the next weekend, whatever it may be. You've already lost if you've done this because you have momentum. When you get that itch and you get that excitement to do something, we sure hope this episode is that for you. The best thing you can do is actually just take action. Just go do something. I love how Kyle mentioned like just decluttering a space or going on a walk. The second you get a little bit of momentum, it's easier for that to carry. So I'd recommend just doing something first and then sitting down and planning. So whether you crush a workout, whether you clean, whether you do some meal prep, whatever it is, just do something, start with action, then go into planning. I find it's easier to have the clarity to do that. But when you set goals, and especially when you set goals that actually mean something to you, we really like the concept of a why. If my goal is just to like look better, that's not really a motivational goal for me whatsoever. It's hard to quantify that. It's not as tangible. It doesn't mean as much to me. Instead, if you're like, I want to like just look amazing at my vacation in 6 weeks because all these people used to always make fun of me for being chubby as a kid. Like maybe who knows if that's the most perfect example, but if that works for you and like that lights a fire in you and you're like, okay, it's game time and you can start to see yourself getting through it, that's going to be way better. Or even better yet, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in that time to make that happen. The more quantifiable and real and the more you can break it down, the easier it is to actually have excitement towards it. So that's where goal setting is so important. And you can set bigger goals. And what I like to do is set really big intensive goals and break down what those mean more and more and make sure they actually have important meaning to me. Or perhaps for you, you're like, I'm not even doing this for myself. I'm doing this so I can be fit and healthy and set example for my kids because I want them to be fit and healthy and I want to be around for them on like XYZ. So whatever it is, it needs to mean something to you, and you can do the 7 layers deep. So you can write your goal and kind of put why that's your goal, and then ask yourself why that's your goal again, and do that 7 times, and you'll really unpack like a meaningful goal, and you'll get more excitement towards it, and then you can start breaking down those action steps and like what you actually need to do to achieve it.
And the biggest thing with this is it needs to come from you. So if I were to just say, hey, you know what? I think you should go for this goal and this is what you should strive for, it's going to be tough because during the tougher moments where there absolutely will be a bunch, if it's just only me wanting this goal for you, it's going to be hard for you to stay consistent, for you to show up. And that's why I really think it needs to come from you, like your deep desire, your deep why. And that is how you're going to be able to stay successful. I've been guilty in the past of having goals set for me, and I'm just like, oh man, I don't really want it that bad. So it's hard to stay consistent with it. But next up, accountability is huge, especially like I said, there will be tougher moments. There will be times you don't want to show up, and it gets really challenging. And it's funny because even today, me, Josh, and a buddy, we worked out. And I will say, like, having just these guys around was just so much amazing accountability. It was great motivation. I was even in a bit of a slump with some of my compounds, and then working out with these guys, I'm like, man, I'm feeling so great. So what's cool about this is the slump doesn't even need to be something where it's like you're just trying to get back into the gym. But if you're maybe struggling with some lifts and you're not as motivated, or even nutrition, and if you're around people who are like going to bring you up, who are going to encourage you, who are going to be on the same track, that alone makes such a big difference. But the best and easiest way to get true accountability is just to hire someone. The truth is, most people will say exactly what you want to hear. And our example is ChatGPT. If you type it in, they'll be very agreeable. They'll say exactly what you want to hear, not exactly what you need to hear most of the time, even some family members and friends and whatnot as well. And that's why our coaching is completely guaranteed. I'll tell you exactly what you need to hear and give you the following steps and follow up with you and make sure you're doing everything that's actually for you, that's realistic, and guarantee a result. So if this interests you, make sure to click the first link down below. If you're someone who just wants to get better results, break free of struggles, see some true change, true accountability when you're actually paying for it alone as well will make you show up 100% of the time.
Yeah, accountability is so powerful because if you're by yourself and you're in the gym and you're not feeling it, it's easy just to leave. Maybe no one will know. Just sell yourself short. Just go over to the treadmill and just start watching YouTube videos or something. But if you like, you're there with your buddies and you're like, I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna just go on the treadmill and watch YouTube videos. Like you're gonna get roasted. It's not gonna go well for you. So sometimes that push can be really good. And that's where even having a coach on your side is the best because like where we can be very motivated and excited. Sometimes we can also be not motivated, demotivated, and we can be weak in that moment. So having a coach on your side who can be strong, who isn't emotionally involved, who can give you advice you need to hear and can help regulate you to what's realistic for that situation. And sometimes that is taking a step back, right? And saying, okay, you know what, let's rest today. We're going to get after it tomorrow. Here's the plan we're going to do, but we're going to crush our nutrition because of it. So I just think it's so easy to get in our own way without accountability. And I think another example to really simulate a lot of accountability is real stakes. So if my goal is to lose 10 pounds, probably not going to happen because that 10 pounds, I could take years to do it. I could actively work on it till the day I die. Instead, if my goal is to lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks, that's a super real stake, right? Because now I have a time frame. It's making it more real. That's about a pound a week. I can start breaking that down. Then even past that, I could go, hey, Kyle, here's my weight. Here's a photo of me on the scale. If I don't lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks, I'm gonna give you $100. Right away, that's a whole different beast. And what I love about true challenges or true stakes, if you're not willing to commit to them and you're like, I don't want to do that bad, or I don't want to risk losing money, you're already thinking you're going to fail. Like that's how you immediately know, especially if it's something you think you can't do. But sometimes you need that push. Like make it realistic. Don't say I want to lose 50 pounds in 10 weeks or something stupid, but make it a realistic goal. Bring someone in it. Do it with someone, even all the better. If you have a friend who wants to lose 10 pounds too, say, hey, let's do this. Here's the challenge. Here's the consequence. We've used other examples in the past of like donating to a charity you don't agree with, just something where someone will hold you to it, because knowing there's no escape plan, knowing that someone will know you failed and there's a consequence tied to it, it's amazing how motivating that is. And you can kind of use these gimmicky things to simulate some momentum, and it can really gamify something that is a little more daunting or tough, and ultimately you're winning. Because even if you set like these challenges with friends and maybe fall a little bit short, Kyle did one where he lost some money on a bench press and the other guy actually ended up winning, but Kyle ended up hitting an all-time PR, hitting 315 bench, so a three-plate bench for the first time in his life, which he's been trying to do for like probably 10 plus years, and he knocked it out within like this little 3-month challenge just because there was money attached. So ultimately he ended up winning so much, and he blew past it. I think it was like a 335 or 340, somewhere in there, because you set these stakes. So stakes are amazing. And naturally, I think we'll want to avoid losing or looking silly or falling short. But even if you set this 10 pounds in 10 weeks or $100 challenge, and maybe you only lose 7 pounds, but you gave it your all, you're still benefiting, right? Yeah, maybe you're down $100, but most likely you will get it done and you will find a way to achieve it because you'd be amazed, especially if it's something you really don't want to do, or could be a jump in the lake or something crazy. Who knows? But real stakes is a fantastic way to gamify it and really force yourself to get excited for what's coming.
And next up, you're going to want to listen to this one. It is so impactful. Creating a routine that will set you up for success. And it starts with the morning. So picture this, you're someone who lays in bed a little bit longer, you skip your walk, you have a horrible breakfast. You will be in a slump. Like, there's just no chance you're going to rebound from that to go to the gym, to just suddenly become motivated, to want to just go crush everything. The morning routine is going to be so powerful because consistency compounds and momentum compounds. So when you start the day, you jump out of bed, you journal for a few minutes, even do a couple minutes of deep breathing, maybe jump into some work to leave you feeling fulfilled. That alone is enough action to just leave you wanting to take more action. And I've been there. I've had the times where I've been a little bit slower. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place. I totally get it. But you need to have a consistent morning routine that you can fall back on that leaves you feeling motivated and ready to crush it. And what I will say is it doesn't need to be a 3 hour long thing. Like, you could set up to start, if you're just getting back into it, I'm going to do 2 minutes of deep breathing. I'm going to just write three things I'm grateful for, and I'm going to go on a 10-minute walk. Like, you've started to take some great steps, and then I'm also going to have a healthy breakfast. Like, that alone is a great morning routine to get you started. And as you become consistent, you can expand on it. You can start to add in some different lengths of a time frame to make you do it for longer, and then just maybe add in different things along the way. But if you're just not starting the day strong and you go and turn on the sports channel to go see a recap of all the sports or go watch the news, it's not going to leave you feeling good. So the morning routine is going to be the greatest and most important thing, and I highly recommend starting your day off strong.
And you can take this step further by making it easier yourself with default routines. So, an example, if I'm not feeling my workouts, or I know I don't feel my workouts, I could actively schedule in a workout with a friend every day that week, or you could hire a trainer every day that week. Another example could be you could take the guesswork out. If you're like, I need to do my steps, I keep not doing my steps. What you could do is, as soon as you wake up, go on a walk, no matter what, rain or shine. Another option, in the past, I've struggled with reading. So, what I've done is, as soon as I've woken up, the first thing I've done is read 10 pages. And sometimes that would cause me to read more, sometimes less. But no matter what, every single day I was getting that done. So, the more you can find different ways just to make it easier on yourself, to create rough rules that even when you're strong or weak, you just have that consistency there, it's the best thing you can do. And even with food, like, if you're just like, I have such a hard time, you could just eat out one healthy spot that you know that works, have that pre-logged, have that ready to go, remove that guesswork. Yes, I might come at an expense of a little bit of money, but if it gets you into a flow and it helps you break that rut, I highly recommend doing it. Another thing I do is I go to the gym at the same time, because I find if it's like really open-ended when I'll go to the gym, that does not help me whatsoever. So the more you can make it easier on yourself, the better. And I find there's a lot of different ways to go about this. And once again, those are a couple examples I've used myself. I eat the same breakfast every single morning, so I know my macros are there. I'll pre-log as much of my day as I can. I'll have a ton of protein snacks and a ton of great options in my house, so I'm not freaking out, starving, not sure what I'm going to eat, and I go eat some garbage. So the more you can remove friction and make healthy decisions and healthy living easier, the much less motivation it takes to actually do it. And then you'll build those habits and that routine that much more naturally.
Yeah, and also on that note, it's important for this next one that you have everything else done beforehand. But this is kind of an external thing. It's just having motivational crutches. So for those times, once again, there will be, no matter who you are, even if you're like Mr. Olympia, there will always be times you don't want to show up. Like, I don't know anyone who is, maybe aside from David Goggins, I don't know what happens behind the scenes for him, but I'm sure there's times where you're like, I don't want to run. I don't want to get to the gym. I just want to chill. And once again, it's good to take rest days. I don't want to make it seem like you're just never going to take that time to chill, to relax. But we're trying to just stay out of a slump. We're trying to stay consistent. We're trying to consistently show up. So that's what this episode's all about. But if you are someone who struggles, if it's a time where you need a bit more support, having these external things can be helpful. So for some people, it's good music, motivational music or rap music for some. It could be some rock for others. Having good music and just bumping it is a great way to just get in the zone. We love motivational videos. And it's funny, Josh sent me 3 hours long of Greg Plitt. Honestly, I wish he was still here. Like at least his legacy's still living on, but his stuff is just impactful. It's so powerful. Like there's a 0% chance if you listen to Greg Plitt spitting out these quotes, just saying all these great things about how you have so much potential and how great you should be and how you should show up. It's like there's no way you're not going to show up from listening to that stuff. And then even maybe pre-workout, right? If you're someone who doesn't take pre-workout, like today, I listened to Greg Plitt for leg day. We are having a big workout, and then also grabbed a monster and brought one for Josh. So like it was a great day. Like I wasn't feeling the legs as much. I was a bit sore, and it was like an amazing workout. So I'm like, these things are absolutely fantastic. But even if you are trying to get out of a slump, if you're trying to just like keep the momentum going, like having these external things help you out is absolutely game changing and can definitely help along the way.
That's a great way just to simulate some energy when you don't have it. And this is probably one of my favorite things to do because even if I'm not in the mood, you can even have a little bit more caffeine if need be. Use that as a tool. Listen to your favorite song, have a set playlist, have a certain song that just gets you going. Like I said, booking a workout schedule in with a friend, especially even someone who might scare you. Like if you have a friend who's really fit, maybe you've never gone to the gym with them, they kill it there. Just say, hey, can I tag along? I'll do whatever you do in the gym that day. Like just different things like that. There's always unique little ways you can simulate this, and it'll be so different for everyone. What motivates you, what gets you clear. Even for myself, sometimes when I'm feeling it the least, I'll just do things I know that will put me in the right mindset. So, like Kyle said, I'll listen to a motivational video, make a point to go on a walk. I'll meditate to get my head really clear and right. I'll listen to all the hype songs I can on the gym. And usually you'll find your way. Like the whole adage of fake it till you make it. If you just kind of fake your way through and find ways to be motivating, you can really overcome some of those tougher objections. And another great way to do that, and my last and final tip, is actually be recovering correctly. If you're sleeping really horribly, it's going to be a lot harder to stay motivated and to actually break out of a slump. If you're having really irregular, unhealthy lifestyle habits, it's going to be that much harder as well. So if you're staying up late, you're eating garbage, you're drinking like crap, you're not taking care of yourself, you're overworked with stress because you're not facing what you need to face, like you're fighting a losing battle. And I just find the more you can support yourself, like be a kind, loving person to yourself as well, and say, okay, we're gonna get you to bed early tonight. You're gonna rest up, you're gonna feel good, you're gonna wake up to your alarm, have a healthy breakfast. Like doing these things is so good. And sometimes there's that thing that's just overwhelming. It's on the front of your mind, it's killing you, it's stressing you out, maybe you're procrastinating it, it's causing you uncertainty. Address it, knock it down, just start taking action on it, get it done. You'll realize it's probably not as big of a deal as it is. And I find in general, action always promotes more action. So even for me, sometimes when I'm feeling it the least, I'll switch off my mind. I'll ignore what I want to do in that moment and I'll do what I need to do. So if there's like things that are just like bugging you, you're like, oh, I got to cut the grass. I got to clean this. I got to finish this work project and I need to cook my food. Just start knocking out things on the list. And I assure you, once you get one, two, three things done, you're going to feel so good. And you're going to be looking for more things and you're going to do even more than you thought you had. And you're going to feel such clarity because you got all that noise and nonsense out of the way, and it can make it easier to like regain that rhythm and that success. So those are 8 tips to breaking out of a slump. And once again, our steps as well. I highly recommend doing them step by step. Save this episode, have it handy in case you actually fall back into a slump. Just know they're natural. You just got to break your way out of it. And just as I said, momentum can stack positively or negatively. And a lot of the times we just got to create that change and get right after it. And if you know someone who perhaps would benefit from this episode and you want to send them some motivation, we highly recommend you do, because we want to help everyone grow, become fitter, healthier, and happier. So we hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, continue to tune in, share it with a friend. It really does mean the world. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.